Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I'm going to share with you some recent purchases that I made within Splinterlands, some amazing card assets. You're going to hear some of my thoughts around where I focused and why, how I decided between this asset and that. And these are big acquisitions. I got some of the best summoners in the game. You can see on the screen here, I got a brand new Max Lorcus. I got enough BCX to max out my Elias Pruitt. I got an old Plato Emberstorm, some amazing summoners, but not just that. We did so much more. And I did this because one, I'm confident in what this game is. Two, I've enjoyed it for 6 years. And three, I'm hopeful for the future. If you want to hear my thoughts and follow along on my journey, you might want to stick around and watch this one. Thanks guys for your time and attention. Have an amazing day. God. Nathan, good to see you. I just maxed out Night Stalker because of you. You're really hard on my crypto on my crypto wallet. Dude, Nathan, let me tell you. Yesterday, for months, for years, I think you maybe know, I am an XRP person. I believe in that token. I think it's, got good adoption already and it will continue to grow. I think it didn't really enjoy the 2021 bull market, not in a full way. It went to like $2. That wasn't even a previous all-time high, or that wasn't even in excess of the previous all-time high. I think that it will break its previous all-time high, which means $4, $5, $6, $10. I don't know. That's not advice. It's just my thinking. And yet, despite that, and despite the token only being at 50 cents, and me having bought those tokens almost 7 years ago, at 15 cents, I sold 2,000 tokens yesterday for $1,000 US. I believe they're probably worth, honestly, I think it'll make it to $5. And so in some sense, I consider 2,000 XRP tokens to be equivalent to $10,000 US. And yet yesterday I sold it for $1,000 US because I'm so in love with Night Stalker, because I'm so in love with this game, because I desperately wanted certain pieces in this game. Night Stalker was part of it. Lorcus was another part of it. You know what? I'm going to answer a few more comments and then I'm going to show you guys what I bought, because I went shopping. I spent $1,000 yesterday. Let's look at it. But yeah, crypto wallets, man, they suffer when new toys come to Splinterlands. Our crypto wallets, we go to the piggy bank sometimes, don't we? I know I do. Tests have been terrible for me lately. Lots of potions and merits. Merits are so powerful though, man. We are overlooking the impact of gladiators. Most people are. And one day when there's massive player growth, you will be distinguished by those merits in a very meaningful way. In this moment, that reality doesn't feel true or whatever, because you haven't seen that separation. But if suddenly we have 5,000 players playing Splinterlands, and then tomorrow we had 5,000 new players, you would literally half the community wouldn't have any of those cards. Those soulbound reward cards that let you play gladiators in your rank rolls. Those gladiators that have bloodlust, some of which are amazing. Captain Katie and Quora and Petrelba, and you know what I mean? These are amazing game-changing cards that only we will have. And that's an example that I think is very attainable. If we go from 5,000 to 10,000 players, those gladiators will make you a hero. But what if we go from 5,000 to 50,000 real players, which I also think is possible. Now you're not just kind of above the 50% mark in terms of impressive or distinguished. You're now the creme de la creme of the game. I really mean that. Bloodlust is that powerful. Gladiators are that impactful. The feeling or the impression of them, the footprint they leave isn't felt that dramatically yet, because all those that are here now have the same glads you do, or better. But any significant player base growth will draw this line in the sand where you've been here and you've been earning for years, or you haven't, and you're going to feel the weight of that distinction. So merits, I know, you want those epic, those juicy epics. You want to get the max epic from the drop. I get it. But we should never look that merit gift horse in the mouth, because man, they matter. Potions, I want those too. I could make an argument for why we want the potions, but I get it. They're definitely the least exciting, aren't they? for sure. I mean, you would probably admit merits are better than potions. It's not equal, but I like potions too. I mean, I've got two gold foil legendaries from the Rebellion set already because of potions, because they helped peak my return on those gold foils. Okay, let's talk about what I purchased yesterday, because like Nathan was saying, man, it's this game's hard on your wallet, and it's hard because there's so many cool new toys, and if you love the game and you believe in it, you, like me, want some of those. These promo sales are very exciting. Now, the first round, whatever. Eleanor Bravefoot, very cool. 0 mana, yes, powerful. To potentially do 4 archery damage, yeah, that's awesome. Sanctus Vicar, very interesting too with that rear cleanse. That's the first of its kind. And I heard someone say the other day, as a props to Sanctus Vicar, in those poison rule sets, Noxious Fumes rule sets, what'll happen is if you have enough hit points, he'll cleanse everybody in the back line. Spots 2 through 6 can be cleansed across 5 turns. 1 cleanse per turn, and it'll cleanse each of them. Why is that important? Well, you turn a Noxious Fumes rule set into your opponent's entire team is poisoned, but you're fine. That's huge. So they're good cards, but they don't hold a candle to Night Stalker, in my opinion. And Delia is interesting too with the double strike. This is a big level up. These cards are a big level up from the first promo set. And I bet these are just like average. I think you're going to see exciting new promo cards at every next level. And by the way, when they do that 100 cards released for 100 days, I can already, like, I know I want one of those. I know I don't even know what it is, but that's just a cool way of selling cards. And I want one. There's only going to be 100 of them. Are you kidding me? But I heard someone say they're probably going to be $600 each. And I think that probably makes sense. You know, if these are $250 for that one, I think, I forget how much, you know, $550 for this one, $450 for the Delia. It's got to be, I bet, $600 to $1,000 per card for 100 days. Now, some days will be cheaper, but there were going to be some whales that are willing to just come in and buy at $500 every day. And unless we come in and buy it for $600 and they say, okay, well, maybe I'll try it again tomorrow. There will be players that'll do that. So these promo cards are exciting, and we're not done with the fireworks. This is just the beginning of it. I feel like this is the appetizer, and yet it's such a tasty appetizer because Night Stalker is amazing. So this is a big part of why I went active yesterday with the money, and why I sold some crypto that I didn't want to. I've already talked a lot about Night Stalker, but what really grabbed me is that this blast procs the execute on the neighboring cards. I would have assumed execute only triggers when you bring your target, the main target, to 2 or less hit points. But in fact, if the blast damage brings the neighboring card to 2 or less damage, you will execute them, which can snowball because it could proc theoretically a variety of execute, right? So that's amazing. And now, as soon as I learned that, I was like, okay. And I don't know if everybody, I talked about this in the video, but Night Stalker being cheaper in the marketplace meant that I wanted to be able to take advantage of that. I wanted to come in here and pay $1.90 per BCX instead of, you know, $2.50 or whatever it is, or $2.30 from Splinterlands. And so I struck while I could, and it looks like there's plenty of available cards if people were wanting to do that, but you need 115. What would it take? 115. So we're right around that $1.90 price point. That's what I paid. And that's, I think it's, you know, it's a fair price. And I think you're going to see active sales from this. Just clicking on the leaderboard. I think since last night, this number has gone up by 20 million. It was 180 yesterday when I looked at it last. I don't know where it was at the end of the Delia sale. I'm sure maybe some of you guys know. I think it was about 100 million, was it? Have we already seen 100 million worth of sales from these new ones? I don't know. Look at, there's Trash Panda right there, eh? And Housewife, wow. Look at these names. So these cards are awesome, and they're just the tip of the iceberg. The next promos are going to be amazing. The next ones are going to be amazing. The next ones are going to be amazing. And the crazy thing is, It's not just the card is great. It's the synergies that it's like we're in a whole new world, because Rebellion, we're just getting our bearings with Rebellion in terms of Rebellion Soulbound reward cards that are changing the game in their own way. The synergies that are possible with them are going to create whole new ways of approaching some cards that are promo drops. So Night Stalker, like I pointed to, has really interesting interactions with some of these amazing legendary summoners from the Rebellion set. How does it fit in with Lorcas? How does it fit in with Tofu? How does it fit in with Akane? Give that thing ambush and see what happens. Give yourself an ambush shot with a blast, execute. Let's go. Am I right? Give yourself give yourself, like I said, a taunt in the right place or a true strike in the right circumstance. These, and because it's both, anyways, you see my point. Every promo card has that same conversation. It has these brand new synergies with summoners and monster cards that we don't even really have our bearings on yet. We're still learning the Rebellion set. We're still learning the Rebellion Soulbounds, and this every new promo, especially those with more than one element, Splinter, means the combinations are massive. The cross connections and the synergies that are made possible are just wild. That card is fire and death. There's so many play opportunities there. So I raced out yesterday to get into that conversation on what I bought. I said, Night Stalker is too good. I need to have it. So then I go, I'm spending $200. Let's sell $1,000. Let's get into it. There's $200 right there. How do I equip this card for modern success? Well, I need to have a summoner that I can play. I didn't have a lot of summoners in the modern league. I play in the modern league. I have a lot of fun in the modern league. I usually make it into diamond. So I have a pretty decent deck, but that's mostly driven by Chaos Legion success. I'm confident that there will be no mini set, and I'm therefore confident that Chaos Legion will rotate out of modern sooner than later. And so with $1,000, I want to build my modern capacity for the future. I want to have greater opportunity to play in the modern space for longer, and I want to do so with cards that are powerful and give me an edge, such as Night Stalker. So if I'm going to play with my Rebellion cards in modern, then I need to equip them with summoners. What's going on right now? Oh, I see. Clicked on melee. I had Drath. I got really lucky with Drath. I got 6 copies out of the gate, and I bought 5 for like $15 each. To me, that card's amazing. I love it. It wins above 500%. And then I also, a long time ago, got a really cheap Prophet Rosa, and I like this card. It doesn't play in as many circumstances or scenarios, but this is a piece of what I'm doing here. I bought a Nomos because everyone was laughing at it, and it's a fine card. It's just like an option. It's quite niche, but for if I can get a summoner for cheap, I'm interested. I would love to have Avina the Wolf, but it's too expensive. I would be interested in having more of these double elemental low mana summoners, but we'll get there when the time is right. Yesterday, what I did, knowing that I wanted to build around, it's like I'm building a sports team, and Night Stalker is one of my aces. Like he's one of my ace pitchers, or maybe he's an ace closer. And so I want to support him. I need death or fire teams. I have Drath, and I like that. And let's see what, I'm learning what that'll do with him. But then Lorcas is such an obvious partnership, right? Not just because of the melee damage output. Of course, that's part of it, but the life leech and maybe even the trample in the right scenario. If I play Lorcas and I play Night Stalker, and you have a taunt in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th spot, it would make a lot of sense for me to give my Night Stalker trample. Because I'm going to hit in the middle of your team, your taunt is going to attract my attack. I'm going to cause blast damage to your neighbors, and I'm going to proc trample. And so that might be a scenario where the trample would be crazy with that card. But generally speaking, the life leech is going to be nuts, because you can get 15 hit points by the end of a game because of that life leech. 20 maybe. And then a cane, like I said, wow. I haven't even done that play yet. But the ambush with that card, let's go. And so I'm building for the future. So what I did was I spent, again, $22 all the way up to $28 per BCX on Lorcus, which, you know, is it $300, something like that maybe? Just shy of $300 maybe for a Lorcus. That's $500 right there for my Night Stalker and my Lorcus. But also I bought a Max Dolfar Darflak, which was $80 and is such a good card, man. Like, because the low mana, because Night Stalker, because if you want to play in Modern and you want to enjoy the game at that high level in the league that's smaller with greater payouts per win, then you need to have affordable options that let you build out your deck and play the most number of cards in the most circumstances and situations for the least financial investment. These summoners are currently the cheapest way to do that. Play in Modern to have a maximum number of opportunities. They're commons, aren't they? These cards they're cheap. Like, they're not the cheapest summoners you can get. If you're just looking for a cheap summoner, yesterday, and I'll tell you this I'll talk more about it in a minute, but I didn't just buy Rebellion cards. I didn't just buy Modern cards. I came in and I bought some Elias Max Pruitts. That was a Modern purchase. I looked at all of the old summoners. I looked at Mimosa, I looked at Prince Rin, I looked at Peak Rider. I bought a Max Plato Emberstorm, which is just a cool card and was like relatively cheap. I like that card. Rent it every Guild Brawl. And it was like $50 or something. What is it right now? A max one for $85. I think I don't know what I paid anymore. I bought some Shield Paws. I bought 2 max level Shield Paws for under $30. This is the best summoner in the game aside from Kitty. This is such a reliable and amazing, powerful. This thing wins, and I have data to prove it. So it's crazy to me that this thing is played 1,000 matches at a 5.86 win rate, and yet it's selling for $30. Now I know there's a lot of BCX of it. There's 7,000 cards on the Lily Shield Paw. I believe we're going to see player-based growth in this game because I think it's here for the long term, and I think we're going to have success. And if the vision of the team is executed and realized, cards like Shield Paw will have great desirability, great rental capacity. I bought 2 of them or 3 of them for $25 each. I also bought some Quixodevious for the same reason. The data says it's powerful and reliable. Quixodevious has played almost 800 matches. Nope, almost 900 matches at a slightly lower 5.42 win rate. 5.42 is an amazing win rate. It's one of the best summoners in the game. The win percentage on these things is reliable, replicable, and significant. And so these costs are crazy. Now, again, Quixodevious, there's 35,000 copies. There's only 10,000 total cards. I believe one day we have 100,000 users in this game. And if that's so, cards like this will be desirable in a big way. I think it was $17 and $18 for max level Quixodevious. So I bought them. I also bought some gold foil legendary summoners because they're that good. Chaos. Because they're just that good. And long term, I want them. I bought 2 gold foil Immortalices. Same reason. The card is amazing. It has a 5.34 win rate across 750 matches. And so I bought 2 max level Lily Shield Paws. I bought 3 max level Quixodeviouses. There's my max level Plato, a beta. I got 2 level 3s of the Phantom of the Abyss, which is one of the best magic cards in the game. I might just slap them together. It will be 12 BCX and that'll be over leveled, but it's not the biggest deal. But I might just keep them separate and rent them, have one for rental potential. I believe these cards are long-term really valuable. This was $30. This was $30, I think. No, $25. 24 and $25. 24 and $25. $19, and Plato was $86. These cards are amazing, and I love them. And some of them are immediately impactful, and some of them are just that long-term play because I believe in the game long-term. There's my Lorcus purchases and my Dolfar. Now we got over here, some of the images broken, but see, I got 2 at least gold foil Immortalises, and I don't know what the other ones are, to be honest. What are those other ones? Oh, that card is I see now that all the broken image there is the Night Stalker, and the image obviously hasn't been uploaded to Peak Monsters yet. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So we got gold foil Chaos Legion summoners that were, I think these were sold. What were these sold for? Look at that. I think that's $22. Yeah, I think they might have been $22 each for gold foil Immortalises. 2 of them. I would have bought 4 at that price if they existed. And at least yesterday they didn't. So I'm talking about what I bought, but you can see 2 trends, right? I focused on equipping myself for continued strength and success in the Modern League, but I also looked and explored long-term investments that really are amazing cards that have if this game goes where I believe it will have strong resale or rental potential. To me, Quixodevious, Lily Shieldpaw are going to be relatively scarce considering future growth, and powerful enough to justify investment even in this moment. While there are other things I'm more interested in, there are other things that I would rather spend the money on in some sense, because if it was between another copy of Lily Shieldpaw and Night Stalker, I'm going Night Stalker. But I had enough funds brought in that moment where it's like, well, I got the Knights, I got the Lorcan, I got the Dulfur Darflack, I got the Elias Pruitt. Like I'm building out that piece, but let's also think future. I want to see the gold foil Chaos Summoners. So I almost bought this Shieldpaw too, by the way, for the same reasons I laid out before. 45, it's the best summoner in the game, apart from Kitty, and it's amazing, and it's powerful, and it's successful. The win rate's amazing. It's reliable. It's broadly applicable. It's so good. And by the way, my win rate, this amazing win rate that I have with Lily Shieldpaw is, I don't have Grimbarden Smith. And everybody, that's the partnership. That's what people do. That's how it wins for most people. I don't have that amazing card, and yet my Shieldpaw crushes. And so I'm saying Shieldpaw's amazing, and this $40 price tag is crazy. If I had more money, I would buy it. But as I looked at that, $45 per BCX on the Shieldpaw, which I believe will one day be a laughably low number, I also saw Immortalis gold foil for $22. $22. And again, the data is also positive for that card. It's the 4th best summoner I own, and that's across months of data tracking. This is a reliable, functional, powerful summoner, and so for $44, I'm going to get a level 3 gold foil. For now, it can sit on land. For now, it can just sit back and be, an asset that I hold in my portfolio of cryptocurrency, NFTs. I looked at every one of these, but in terms of, Astral Entity is a one that wins too, and the data is quite strong. And this one, look at this, $17 per BCX, $70 for a max Astral Entity. I'm about it. However, look at this, guys. Look at this. There's only 856 BCX of this card. There's only 500 copies of this card, and this is being given away for $70. There is no scenario in the future, in my mind. This is my opinion. This is not fact. I have no way to prove this, but I'm so convinced this card will be $2,000, because I believe this game will persist. I believe this game will have success. Our player-based growth will come. This supply is completely and entirely inadequate for future growth. Now, if we never see another player come and we stay stagnant at 3,000, but that's not the future I predict. That's not the future I believe in. And I'm not just being optimistic for its own sake. If I was just speaking words to say something, I wouldn't put $1,000 into the game yesterday. I am confident with my money. I am confident with this game. I'm confident with the future because I feel I've analyzed it enough. 6 years of playing it every single day, and I'm still in love with it. The community is amazing. The team is committed. The vision is excellent. Are we there yet? No, of course we haven't arrived. If we had, there would be no more opportunity. There is no risk left, and therefore no opportunity left once a thing arrives, when it's complete, when it's finished, when everyone knows about it. There's no more opportunity, no more risk. I want risk because I want opportunity. And so the key in anything that you're looking at throwing money at is always, do you feel that the risk is worth the reward or the opportunity, the potential opportunity, the potential reward? Obviously I do. I can't believe there's 500 copies of this card, and yet a max copy of a gold foil card that wins all the time. By the way, the data on that one, 600 plus games, 538. These Chaos Summoners are awesome. They're awesome. They play a lot. They win a lot. It's got a better win rate and more games played than Thaddeus Brood, which is itself a powerful card, which is probably even more dirt cheap. What would a max one of these ones cost? So you're talking, oh my goodness, $26 for a max gold foil Thaddeus Brood. Now, there's 16,000 BCX, there's 5,000 copies of the card. It's a different scarcity conversation, but it's an amazing card. It plays a lot, it wins a lot, it's powerful and successful. Kelly Friendle's another that'd be worth looking at. Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I'm looking at. Those were some of the considerations that I brought to the table. I didn't just look at those things. It's not like I came in and saw what I saw and bought those things right away. I looked at alphas, I looked at betas, I looked at, I was looking for certain key cards that I for a long time have been interested in. One of the ones that I came looking for in particular was, well, the alphas and beta summoners, because I played the alpha betas rule set in my guild brawls, and I have for a long time now. So I wouldn't mind building that out a little bit, and I will probably over the years to come. I looked at Lord of Darkness because another copy is only, look at this, max copy $70. Such a good card, best tank in the game from the wild. At least it's in the conversation. The Elemental Phoenix, what a crazy card. $70. This used to be like $1,000 card. I think it will be again. Fear of the Force was the one that I really wanted to get, but for $92, it's just too niche. It's amazing and it's powerful, but it's too niche. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying when I look at all the things I could have bought and did buy, I have to weigh them against their broad functionality, their general utility versus the niche utility of a card like this. This is a beta card. It's only playable in wild. It's only playable in my guild brawl battles. That's important. But for $92, that $92 bought me 3 copies of Lorcus, which moved my Lorcus from level 3 to level 4. Lorcus is immediately and powerfully relevant both in the wild but also in the modern. So there's a distinction in sort of they're both important cards. They're both valuable. They're both worthwhile. They're both interesting and exciting. But Lorcus has greater utility. And by the way, the scarcity is like not even that much different. Like you go 4,000 BCX in the Spirit of the Forest. And then from a scarcity perspective, if you look at the Lorcus Summoner, it's double, I think. Probably. How many copies of Lorcus? Yeah, look at, there's 4,500 copies of Lorcus. It's not even double. I think it's like pretty much the same. So it's really interesting to see that Lorcus has the immediate functionality, which is broader, more meaningful. Plus it's a summoner, not just a monster. Plus it plays 2 splinters, not just one. You can, like, that's the thinking that has to come into play because you don't have infinite resources. So you have to weigh apples versus oranges. How does one quantify or measure whether an apple is better than an orange, or even to bring that metaphor one step further, how does one decide if they want an apple or a hammer? They're totally different. They do different things. They serve different purposes. They are valuable to different people. If you're starving, you want an orange. If you're a carpenter, you need a hammer. And so the same way, a summoner versus a amazing support, I'm going to call it an off tank for the green team. And if you're playing that beta, if you're at the top levels of wild, if you're interested in the future and the scarcity of the little cards, yes. But you want to build you know, if you need 100 different things to make your gaming experience and your deck better, you start with which 5 move the needle most. You look at those. Well, none of them are cheap today. Okay, which 10 move the needle most? Let's see. You know, you broaden your, let's say your net of consideration, and you start to see, well, if I came in here yesterday and Lorcus was $50 a BCX, I probably wouldn't have done that. But it was actually part of why I chose to get Night Stalker, because Lorcus was affordable. It was relatively the same price as every other summoner except for Tofu. And so I felt it was undervalued and overlooked. And so then I'm now seeing 2 pieces that I want and that are relatively affordable. And so then I strike. And then while I'm doing that, I'm looking at those other pieces, like I told you already with Dolfar. I'm like, $80? Yes, please. And I made this point earlier, but I just want to reiterate it. If we're here for the long haul and we want to have success in Modern, you need summoners. The best summoners that are going to allow you to stretch your budget and, you know, play the best. Of course, the legendaries are better than these in terms of what they do for you, but these allow you to play a wide variety of cards in a wide variety of circumstances for a really limited budget. It cost me $300 to buy 1 max Lorcus. It cost me $80 to get 1 max Dolfar. That then left, if I wanted to, I could have bought 1, 2, 3 max summoners, maybe 4 max summoners for the same price point as 1 max legendary. And what would it do for you to have, you know, instead of, this is, you call Dolfar 1 summoner, but is he? He lets you play Fire Team and he lets you play Death Team. So he's 2 summoners. Better than that, he lets you play them together. And I know that these are a little bit underwhelming or under-impressive compared to these amazing Tactics legendary summoners. But when you step back and you go, well, I want to be in the Modern for the long haul. I want to have the success at a high level in the game. I can't afford everything. So how can I get my foot in the door on that Modern League and have success and have functionality and variety and more joy? Well, these guys are relatively affordable. They're in that Modern League. They're going to be part of the Modern League for the long haul, probably another year, year and a half, maybe 2 years, probably 2 years. And maybe 3. And so these cards for these price points at this moment, to me, are overlooked and undervalued because people are chasing after promo cards. They're chasing after the big bells and whistles. Tofu was going crazy because people are chasing after this. So I think, and this is one last point I want to make on card valuations and building your deck. I talked earlier when Gathering was the only one here that Chaos Legion card valuations have plummeted again. So look, yesterday it was $580 for a max Chaos Legion regular foil set. Today it's $606. That's still $150 lower than it was 13 days ago. 13 days ago, it was $775 for a max Chaos Legion set, and today it's $606. What's going on there? Chaos Legion cards are lower than they should be because people are chasing after other assets that they want. Not probably Dolfar. In fact, it's almost certainly these promos. And so what I'm saying is, and it's a bit of a theory, that the promo sales, as well as the Rebellion summoners, probably Tofu in particular, are soaking up valuation from the community and causing other things to drip lower. And that's why I think I got those kitties, or those Lily Shield pots for that cheap. That's why I think I got those Quixotivis for that cheap. That's why I got those gold foil Immortalises for that cheap. Because people are saying, Chaos Legion, it's going to be out of the Modern soon. I'm just going to get rid of these things. Chaos Legion, there's too many BCX of it. Chaos Legion, everyone knows it's overprinted and worthless and no one wants it. That's just sentimental narrative that have been driven by a lot of salty people. You don't believe that, guys, and I don't believe it. And so, you know, when other people want to sell and the blood's in the water, let's go ahead and take a bite. That's what I was feeling. And I guess that's what I'm still feeling. But, you know, the question is, again, I only have so much funds. So where do I draw that line? The guy, okay, $1,000 is a lot of money. And I can't do that every day. I'm not going to do that again for a while. Next promo sale might spark some interest in me, but that's 2 weeks away and we'll see. and it would have to be pretty juicy for me to claw back some more of that value from my crypto. I really believe in the tokens I hold, and I don't want to sell them for these price points. And so, you know, we'll see. So that's where we're at.